Welcome and thank you all for coming this afternoon. In a few moments, we're going to brief you all on Operation Dismount, which is a collaborative effort between several local law enforcement agencies to address the illegal operation of dirt bikes and ATVs in our respective jurisdictions. Please keep in mind that these efforts are ongoing and the investigations remain active in many cases, so some information may change as the investigations continue. I will now introduce our speakers and acknowledge some other stakeholders we have in the room. First, beginning with Chief of Police Patrice from the Durham Police Department, Chief of Police Estella Patterson from the Raleigh Police Department, Chief of Police Damon Williams of the North Carolina Central University Police Department, Chief Deputy Robert Whitted of the Durham County Sheriff's Office, and Sergeant John Wagstaff of the Durham Police Department, who is the lead of our ATV Dirt Bike Task Force. I would also like to recognize other stakeholders that we do have in the room. District Attorney Satana DeBerry. We have Mayor Elaine O'Neill, City Manager Wanda Page, Deputy City Manager Bo Ferguson, and Council Member Deidreana Freeman here as well. I'd also like to recognize other agencies that couldn't be here today but who have also been an integral part of this task force, including the Chapel Hill Police Department and Chief Salisa Lehue, the Duke University Police Department, the North Carolina Highway Patrol, and the Wake County Sheriff's Office. At the conclusion of our remarks, there will be an opportunity to ask any questions that you all may have. We will also be releasing some additional information after the press conference in the form of a news release. We will now begin with our first speaker and Chief Patrice Andrews.
Thank you. So I want to say good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for being here. So what initially began for us as an initiative to mitigate the illegal and reckless behavior of dirt bike groups and ATV operators in our area has since turned into a very well organized and effective multi-jurisdictional task force. That task force includes, as you've heard, the Durham County Sheriff's Office, the North Carolina Central University Police Department, Duke University Police Department, the Chapel Hill Police Department, Orange County Sheriff's Office, the North Carolina State Highway Patrol, Durham County Emergency Management, and the Durham County District Attorney's Office. This intelligence-based and led enforcement operation has led to numerous charges, confiscation of weapons, and removal of lawless individuals from our streets. In a moment, you will hear from our task force lead, Sergeant John Wagstaff. I'm extremely proud of the work that he and the rest of our team, as well as the representatives from the agencies you see here, have done. They will provide, and he will provide, key background information to you that provides context to the behavior of many of these riders. I think what you will see and find out is that it has been made quite clear that their actions are specifically designed to interrupt daily operations in our various cities and towns in a manner that increases the likelihood of criminal activity and behavior and has a dramatic effect for our residents and our entire community on the overall feeling of safety and security. Most importantly, this task force will continue to, as they are today, to send a message that the behavior will not stand and will not be tolerated. We are a unified front, and we are continued in that endeavor. We want to, again, just thank all of our stakeholders. I want to thank the media for being here and covering this. This is extremely important to all of us and to our community. And I want to just personally thank all of the law enforcement officials that stand with us. So thank you.
Good afternoon to everyone. My name is Estella Patterson, and I'm the Chief of Police for the Raleigh Police Department. And joining me today is Scott Osterhout, who's the Deputy Chief over our Field Operations Division. He is here with me. We're both delighted to be here on this occasion. As Chief Andrews stated, we want to amplify the outstanding work and the collaboration among our law enforcement partners to keep our communities safe. Often when we meet like this, it's not for something positive. It's usually something has happened in our region. But it is refreshing that this is not the case today. In fact, we are happy that the efforts of our focused efforts determined by our employees have actually prevented crime or tragedy from happening on our streets and our highways. Before sharing RPD's role in this operation, I'd like to publicly thank our many partners, to include Chief Patrice Andrews and the Durham Police Department, for quickly sharing information concerning ATVs and dirt bike riders in their jurisdiction that they know were headed to Raleigh. Also to Colonel Freddie Johnson and our brothers and sisters of the Highway Patrol, who were also among the first to alert us of these individuals, and Chief Celisa Lehue of Chapel Hill Police Department, who we have coordinated efforts with and have sought charges on to apprehend the violators. Also to Chief Damon Williams of North Carolina Central University, Chief Clarence Burkhead of Durham County Sheriff's Office, and both the Wake and Durham County District Attorney's offices. To all our partners and our agencies that I may not have mentioned or I missed, we also thank them for their continued partnership and collaboration. And I'd also like to acknowledge and publicly thank two of our officers at the Raleigh Police Department who have done the lion's share in the work on this operation to bring charges in the Raleigh cases. That is Master Officer Kyle Epps and also Master Officer Carrie Van Altis. As mentioned by Chief Andrews, during the week of June 4th, over 100 ATVs and dirt bike travelers from Chapel Hill and Durham came to Raleigh, traveling down Glenwood Avenue to Briar Creek to T.W. Alexander, and then on to Creedmoor and to Five Points and Hillborough Street. They traveled at high rates of speed, disobeying traffic lights and signals, showing recklessness and disregard for other motorists on the road. Their behavior did impact the normal traffic that we see in Raleigh, and we received several 911 calls related to it. Our officers responded, but the violators evaded our efforts, and for the overall safety of our community, we did not pursue these individuals in a vehicle chase. However, we are never okay, as Chief Andrews stated, to allow violators to commit acts in our city or in our areas that affect the quality of life in our jurisdiction. We join ranks with our regional partners as part of this Operation Dismount to determine exactly who the violators were. During the course of our investigation, we reviewed over 600 hours of videos across a number of social media sites and other sources. RPD officers ultimately charged 37 individuals with a total of 230 charges. The offenders varied in age as well as from all parts of the East Coast and also to this region. Those identified from North Carolina were mostly from Orange County. As suspects are identified, we will make every effort to seize vehicles when we can legally. I can't begin to really express how pleased I am at this combined effort and the work that our officers did in Raleigh to identify these offenders. We want everyone and anyone in the Raleigh region to know if you're coming into Raleigh to create problems that we are going to be there and we're going to stop you from doing that. We will expend all available resources to prevent this type of behavior and activity in our city. We continue to encourage the public or anyone that has information concerning any of this activity by these riders and these violators to please call our Crime Stoppers number at 919-996-1193. We thank you for being here today, and we look forward to the continued collaboration among our partners.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Damon Williams, and I'm the Chief of Police at North Carolina Central University. And I have to echo what my partners have said here today. It's important that we work together. This collaborative effort is geared towards trying to prevent. The ultimate goal was preventing these things from happening in our jurisdiction. I'm charged with a unique role at North Carolina Central is to keep students safe. Students who come to us from all walks of life and all across the country who have different ideas about what safety should look like and how they should operate when they get to North Carolina. And what we've seen on campus is a complete reckless disregard for the safety of our students when these dirt bikers come to North Carolina Central University. But we're not going to tolerate it. If you come to Central, we take a much more aggressive approach. We will engage these individuals. We will use the tools and technologies that we have at our disposal to stop them and prevent them from causing harm to our students. We have engaged our partners who have taken a very similar approach of helping us gather intelligence using our networks to identify these individuals, and charges will be fully brought. So I do want to thank our partners, the Durham Police Department, Patrice Andrews, the chief at Durham City Police, and Sheriff Burkhead from the county as well. They have come in and assisted us with a lot of these different issues, working together. So a collaborative effort has been made to try to mitigate what is going on. So I do want to be here, and I do want to say thank you personally to you all, and I know the district attorney as well, who has taken these charges and these things very seriously. Together, we're going to stop this foolishness. We're not going to have it in our jurisdiction. So I look forward to our continued effort to mitigate the circumstances that are happening in all of our jurisdictions, both Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, and of course around the university. My partners at Duke, my partners across the UNC system are seeing some of the similar problems, and they're taking the same collaborative approach. So we're glad to be a good partner, and we appreciate you all working with us to try to mitigate these circumstances. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I am Chief Deputy Whitted of the Durham County Sheriff's Office. And on behalf of Clarence Burkhead, the Sheriff of Durham County, he was called away and unable to join us today. But I would like to thank Chief Andrews, Chief Patterson, Chief Williams, and Madam DA for the work that we are trying to put together. We're here to discuss the problems and address the issues that we're having with the dirt bikes in Durham County, as well as Raleigh and Orange as well as surrounding. We're talking about a problem of quality of life. And it's happening not only in our city, but it's happening in the county as well and surrounding. The task force that you're learning about was created to stop that problem. That's our main goal, to cease the problem. Why? Because the citizens that we serve deserve better treatment. They deserve to be free from that type of irritation. The Sheriff's Office will continue to work with all law enforcement agencies you see here, assisting with surveillance with the results of knowing where the illegal activity is taking place. We will continue enforcing the law and apprehend those who know what they're doing is incorrect and wrong. We ask the community to do the right thing and continue to keep us informed with other agencies of servicing you. And the Durham County Sheriff's Office, we regularly attend Partners Against Crime meetings covering the 5 districts across Durham, where we inform our residents about this type of activity. We are united, and we will do everything in our power to hold those accountable for making a choice to ruin the quality of life for the citizens of Durham County and surrounding. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Sergeant John Wagstaff, Jr. with the Patrol Services Bureau. I've been tasked with leading the Operation Dismount, the task force lead on our end, and I've had the true honor and privilege of taking this to the streets head on with the other agencies that are represented here. Before I get into kind of a background of the problem, I want to express my thanks to all the agencies, and particularly your law enforcement leadership standing up here. Without their support and commitment to curtailing this issue, we would not have been empowered on the front lines to make a difference. So thank you. Over the last decade, the city of Durham, like most metropolitan areas across the country, has seen a steady increase in unlawful and reckless operation of dirt bikes, all-terrain vehicles, and other non-street legal vehicles on public roads. Participants operate with willful and wanton disregard for public safety, riding at high speeds, performing stunts as they traverse large portions of the city for hours at a time. Not only is this activity inherently unlawful, it is dangerous to the riders and the motoring public alike, generating hundreds of calls for service annually. Most riders take steps to conceal their identity and are notorious for not stopping for police. In June 2023, the Durham Police Department initiated a multi-jurisdictional task force to address this issue, which I've had the privilege of leading and working with these other agencies. Work began by surveying other agencies across the country who have already been busy addressing this issue to identify effective intervention strategies. This was combined with local knowledge to lay the foundation for what would be a coordinated investigative and enforcement initiative that is ongoing. Of particular focus at the onset of this work were the events that occurred between Saturday, June 3rd and Sunday, June 4th, where upwards of 200 individuals conspired together to unlawfully and recklessly ride on public roads in the greater Durham area. Between approximately 1,500 and 2230 hours on Saturday, June 3rd, over 60 non-street legal vehicles traveled as a group throughout the city of Durham. The majority of these riders went on to join many more the following day, taking to the streets between 3 municipalities, Durham, Town of Chapel Hill, and the city of Raleigh, between approximately 1,400 and 2130 hours. On both days, riders operated with willful and wanton disregard for the rights of others, impacting thousands of lawful motorists and generating dozens of police calls for service. The majority of those who participated do not live in any of the impacted municipalities. Some travel from as far as 800 miles away, and many have engaged in this behavior before. Through the collaborative efforts of investigators from the Durham Police Department, Chapel Hill Police Department, and Raleigh Police Department, as well as Wake County Sheriff's Office, over 1,000 charges have been filed among the 43 individuals identified as having participated in these activities. Again, investigative efforts are ongoing. I want to share with you some descriptive information about those identified. Of the 43 identified participants, only 7 are believed to reside in the city of Durham. Put differently, 81% of those who identified do not reside in the city of Durham. The average age of participants is 25 years old, with the oldest being 43 and the youngest being 15. Only 2 participants charged are juveniles, and based on the evidence reviewed, it appears they may be the only juveniles among the group. The majority of Durham County cases are scheduled for court on October 11th, and know that some who have already been arrested and served on charges have already reoffended. In addition to endangering themselves and other motorists on public roads, members of the group are responsible for unlawfully operating their vehicles in public parks, littering, vandalizing property to include intentionally damaging a Durham Police Department patrol vehicle by forcibly knocking off a driver mirror, throwing rocks at another Durham police officer's vehicle, spitting on a uniformed Durham police officer, running over a Durham police officer's foot with a vehicle, driving a dirt bike into the store of the Family Fair located at 4830 Hope Valley Road and revving the engine repeatedly, larceny of merchandise from 2 gas stations between the 2 days, alcohol violations, felony possession of a stolen motor vehicle, and obstruction whereby an individual, with the encouragement of another, attempted to steal and flee that dirt bike seized by officers because it was reported stolen out of another jurisdiction. The June 3rd through 4th weekend exemplifies how the size and scope of this activity has grown considerably since the Durham Police Department charged many of these individuals in 2017-2018. Meanwhile, its connection to more serious crime has become apparent. While some riders profess a commitment to the mantra bikes up, guns down, officers have found or received reports of many unlawfully armed with a gun. Additionally, investigators have linked dirt bike ATV activity in Durham to other serious crime, such as drug and firearm violations, burglaries, and motor vehicle thefts. Moving forward, we will continue to work closely with our law enforcement partners to address this issue. Investigative and enforcement efforts are ongoing, and we ask for the public's assistance. A new reporting form has been added to durhampolice.com on the homepage to report illegal dirt bike and ATV activity. We ask that the public go there to share tips and any photos or videos they have concerning the activity, to include past events that have already been covered. If you have any videos or photos or tips or information, please share them. Additionally, the public's asked to report every observation of unlawful activity in the city of Durham by calling the non-emergency number 919-560-4600 or 911. Thank you all for being here today.
At this time, we'll open up to any questions that you might have.
I'm Destiny Patterson with WRAL. I have 2 questions for you. The first one is, you just mentioned the website. Is there anything else concretely that you guys are doing to be proactive about this?
So I think education is one of the biggest things that we've been doing consistently. So we know that not all of the individuals engaged in riding dirt bikes and ATVs, they're not all about this kind of criminal life, right? So it's our responsibility to educate them on how to lawfully and responsibly operate their vehicles that they are driving. So we do that, we push that educational message out. As I said before, a lot of what we do is led by intelligence. So, obviously we cannot chase motorcycles or dirt bikes or ATVs. Our policy is very clear on that. But we certainly have video and we have ways to identify people. So we are being proactive through other means that might not always be seen out in the public. Thank you.
Are these charges really effective and these arrests really effective? You said that multiple of these people have already reoffended. Is this really a warning sign to any of them that this behavior won't be tolerated if they can reoffend within a short time frame?
I think I would say, from where we speak from Raleigh, that I think continual ensuring that they're not doing this or making arrests when we can make arrests in those cases. But I think the biggest way to really deter this kind of behavior is to be able to seize the vehicles. If we get to the point where legally we can do that, then that's what we aspire to do, because I think that really curbs the behavior. We have seen that across the nation. When you seize the vehicles, then the behavior stops.
There was a mention of potential reports of firearms being involved with some of these. Have any firearms-related charges actually been filed?
Yes, we have seized firearms and charged individuals with firearm-related violations. Whether they are a participant or a rider of the vehicle, numerous possession of firearm-related offenses have been charged since the beginning of June.
Thank you.
That's a good question. I guess this is from Chief Andrews. Law enforcement is dealing with this issue, but I'm going back to the ones that are creating this problem. We're trying to protect them too from their own bad behavior. And it surprises me that we haven't had statistics on the number that have been injured in the antics that they've done, the number of property damage they've done to other people. Can you address that? We're here to help both the innocent victims that may be involved in this, but also there to help the people that are causing this, not to continue so they don't get hurt.
Right, and I think I would say that the work that the district attorney's office is also doing around diverting, right? That's important that we do bring diversion into this, because not all of the individuals engaged in this are doing so because they're wanting to do this, right? There is probably a component where, quite frankly, they've never been shown different, right? Having said that, we are not going to tolerate repeat offenses. We are going to, we're going to arrest, because it is illegal what they're doing. I'm sure that we do have some statistics for you as far as property damage that we can provide. I will tell you that since I've been here, there have been a number of these riders that have been actually killed or injured in crashes of their own fruition. So the way they've operated the vehicles has caused either their untimely death or injury, and certainly has then caused trauma for the person that could not avoid hitting them. But I do agree with you. There has to be a component in which we try to get to the root of the problem. I would take it a step further by saying, at some point we have to understand that there are people that just, they are not going to respond to diversion.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Unrelated to this, I have a question for Chief Patterson. So we know now that you guys are going to have private security helping out with crime downtown. How will the police department work in conjunction with that?
Yeah, so we always invite any other force multipliers that we can have, whether it is through video surveillance, whether it's extra security. So at RPD, we're going to have more officers working in our downtown area. We're going to do saturation patrols in downtown along Fayetteville Street, Wilmington, Salisbury Street. We have seen the uptick in activity in our downtown area, and so we want to make sure that we create a safe environment in every way that we can. So you'll see an increased presence of officers in our downtown area.
How will you guys be able to work together to ensure that? Because I'm under the impression that they won't have weapons or anything this evening.
So we're already working together. We have security all throughout downtown, even in our municipal building. And so we'll just continue with those partnerships, making sure that they know what we're doing and we know what they're doing, where they are, the hours that they're working, that kind of thing. I'm excited about that partnership and continue to do that because, again, we just need those force multipliers with the amount of activity that we're seeing, not just in our downtown area in Raleigh, but throughout the city as well.
Okay. Are there any final questions?
I know
Or-
you touched on, you mentioned drugs. Has those kind of been the extent of just possession, or has it been to the level of arrest where there was concern for distribution?
An individual who is a repeat offender was arrested on July 30th. We actually have already announced this on our social media with 49.1 grams of marijuana, and he was possessing it in a manner consistent with the sale and delivery of the drug. He was charged accordingly.
Can I ask one more question? For each one of your departments working together, celebrate that. Is any one of your departments up to full staff?
I think we're all still, I'll speak for Raleigh. We're still working at a deficit. We're constantly having recruit classes coming in, but we're still probably close to about 80 officers short.
80. Chief?
So I just delivered the third quarter presentation last week, so you all know that we are we are not fully staffed, obviously. However, we still have a job to do. We're still police officers, and we still have to, we're tasked with keeping our community safe. And that's why even during this time, with all of our staffing woes, we work together, right? And I think that's the positive part of this, is that we are going to work together to mobilize. The sheer number of agencies that we have that are very interested in what we're doing, I'm hoping is going to be a model for other areas that are experiencing this same type of issue. So, thank you.
So I've heard numbers of 120 in excess of that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Mhm.
Sheriff's Department?
I share the sentiments of every one of our chiefs here. We're in dire need, as in every agency throughout the country. Our biggest deficit is in the detention facility, which we are, last check was, I think it's like 95 positions available. So that puts a strain on our detention officers there, which, as we share the same uniform, it puts the stress on all of us because we're all we have the same goal. And if we can increase our detention staff, we'll be better off. But law enforcement wise, yes, we are still short.
Well, I'm going to take a different approach. And so here's that approach, right? So we're a part of a system. So there are 16 other sister institutions across the state of North Carolina that we can pull from if we need for. Are we fully staffed? No. But we have a force multiplier in our District 4 partners. The MOU that the chief and the city manager and our chancellor has signed has opened the door for us to work collaboratively with District 4. So we work together in that district almost like one unit. If they need assistance, we're out there with them. If we need assistance, they're there with us. But I think another thing that I think this gives us an opportunity to do is say to the public, here's your opportunity to come and join and make a difference, right? Here's your chance. At the university, we've taken advantage of our criminal justice program. North Carolina Central has one of the best criminal justice programs in the state of North Carolina. So I'll plug that. But what I'm trying to say is this, is that we've reached into that pot, and we've hired 4 of our very own students to come back and work on our university. Who knows the place better? Who knows the tricks and the tools of a student than some of our former students? And that's been very successful for us. So I know our partners at Duke, our partners at Chapel Hill, we're all looking internally and saying, we have a resource, a pot right here. Let's take advantage of it. And I know some of our fellow agencies are doing the same thing.
Thank you for working together.
All right, thank you all. I'm just making a couple closing remarks real quick. So in closing, we ask that the community continue to report illegal dirt bike activity. by contacting their local law enforcement agencies when they see this activity happening. We also ask that members of the public continue to submit their pictures, their tips, their information, as Sergeant Wagstaff mentioned earlier. We do want to remind the community to remain safe, be aware of your surroundings at all time. Do not attempt to confront or detain anyone that you see operating an illegal dirt bike. We also want to remind drivers to never attempt to record or take pictures while you're operating a motor vehicle. In doing so, you're putting your safety in danger as well as those around you. Thank you all for coming out today. It is important that we get to see all the community stakeholders and the buy-in that we have across city governments in multiple jurisdictions. And thank you all for your continued support of Durham and the surrounding communities.